let's just take a few moments and settle into our alignments and allow that to just be what helps to fill your mind, fill your headspace with that little check-in point as a way of kind of closing the door on our past experiences, our future concerns. So just sense your ankles right underneath your knees, your thighs nice and parallel, extending long from your hips. Try to invite the idea that your hips are just open and free of tension. Maybe even bring your hands to your hip crease area, your tops of your hips, and just invite a little bit of a rock of your torso, front to back. And try to sense where the shoulders can land easily, just right above the hips. So you're sensing the tailbone ground down, a slight engagement of the front of the abdominals. The hands can rest wherever comfortable. Palms can be facing down or up. And then you might just take a nice deep breath in the next time your breath arrives and bring the shoulders up to the ears. Squeeze them up, let them roll back and down. Maybe just do that a few more times, stamping into those feet, growing tall through that spine. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, roll them back and down. Beautiful. And then letting the shoulders settle, the clavicles widen, and bring attention to your chin. Maybe just push your chin forward slightly, move the chin back, just sensing the head kind of move forward and back just a few times without causing stress or strain. And then when you feel right, try to sense the chin lining up right at the notch of your throat, where the clavicles collide or meet at the manubrium. Trying to sense the ears align over the shoulders, the occipital bone, the back of the skull pressed back just slightly, and then like someone's pulling a string at the top of the head, the crown is growing nice and tall. So allowing your awareness to move inward toward these sensations of holding on to these alignments, holding without kind of straining, but just seeing if you can just sense yourself nice and tall, easy. And perhaps your eyes close down, or you just fix your gaze on one spot, eyes unmoving, so you're not soaking in all that extra stimulus. You're trying to go in a little deeper to knowing yourself this morning, in this practice, in this moment. Perhaps for just this moment of this practice that we're engaging together, that we're gathering, we can just set aside all our worries, all our concerns. We can give ourselves permission to fully be here. So letting go of all the past events, letting go of all those future worries, and allowing yourself just to be as you are. And start to deepen your breath, so letting the lungs stretch with that air as you draw breath in nice and deep, nice and full. Sense yourself full of that air, and then as you exhale, see if you can grow a little taller as you exhale that air out nice and slow through the nose if you can. Try to relax the jaw. Nice deep breaths. If it's helpful, you can even place a hand on the belly or the low back just so you can sense that expansion of the body as you inhale. And sense that sinking in toward your center as you exhale, while trying to remain upright, tall, and supported. Maybe these breaths are a way of sweeping the mind clear of all the extraneous disturbances that take us away from this present moment, from what is related to our breath and the sensations derived by the breath. So every time you inhale, you might just invite an image or an intention. And every time you exhale, you might just imagine a sweeping away of anything that's not related to this moment right now, this time and space. We might just start to imagine using our breath and using some imagination or visualization with our breath. And don't worry, there's no need to force anything. Just simply think about the breath. You don't have to make anything happen. But every time you inhale, imagining breath moving in from the base of the spine and the top of the head and moving in toward the heart as the heart becomes filled with breath, massaged by that air. And as you exhale, sensing that air maybe leave from the heart like rivers pooling out into the space around you. So every time you inhale, you're inviting in breath to move in from the base, from the crown, filling the heart. And then the heart sends breath out into space like rivers, sending your kindness, your compassion, your intention out into this room, to these other practitioners who are with you. Just take a few more moments to just ground into that visualization, working with your breath at your own pace, relaxing tension in the shoulders, the jaw, lengthening in the toes, sitting tall, supported. Each moment is a practice of becoming more present. And as we prepare to move into this practice a little more with some gentle movements today, just knowing that every day our body is changing. So try not to get caught up in the shoulds or shouldn'ts or push yourself. If it's not right for you, that means there's probably pain involved. So you can simply just not do something. But also encourage yourself to try things you think you might not be able to do if you're holding yourself to what you think you're capable of. So that requires just a lot of acceptance in our practice, just acceptance of being here, of noticing, of witnessing what is happening inside ourselves and honoring that. And acceptance often comes with a little bit of courage to set aside, to sacrifice our egos. So we gotta kind of sweep the ego away with every exhale. Just be like, hello, goodbye. So on our next inhale, again, growing nice and tall through the spine, but we'll bring those shoulders up toward the ears. Drawing a nice deep breath in, exhale, roll those shoulders back and down. Maybe the next time we inhale, we shrug the shoulders in, scrunch in the face, scrunch the toes in, engage the buttocks, squeeze the thighs, everything's hugging in. Exhale it, everything melts. And again, inhaling, trying to squeeze everything tight, maybe making fists this time, squeezing those thighs, hugging, hugging, hugging. Exhale it, everything melts and release. Beautiful job. And this time, let's bring the fingertips, energize them down toward the earth. Inhale, sweep them up as high as the arms want to go, as high as our shoulders will allow today. Palms connect to the heart center as we exhale, palms to prayer. And then we're going to open the palms nice and wide, open those elbows, send the chest forward. Maybe we lift our gaze, squeeze the scapula in toward the spine. So you're hugging the shoulders, you're pressing your chest forward. Beautiful. Exhale, palms come back to center, bowing your head toward your heart, maybe just checking in with your intention, moving with that as your motivation for this practice. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, nice full breath in. Exhale, palms to heart center. And then we're going to inhale, open those arms wide, one more squeeze in the back of the heart. And exhale as we land our hands onto our thighs. We're going to do a little bit of a dance today with some of the songs. We're going to get a little loose and easy. So we're going to think about our rib cage moving, so nice and grounded through those sits bones. You're going to just move your ribs to the right and then move your ribs to the left. Just see if you can find that little rock, side to side. Nice. See if we can find the rhythm. Side. Side, or just side, hold, side, hold. Nice and slow rock. Good, now front to back, so you're gonna move the chest forward, and move it back like we're doing those seated cat-cows. Forward, back, forward. Just open that chest, move it back. You can go a little slower if you like, a little faster, whatever serves you. And then we're going to go forward and see if we can curve around to the side. And then forward, curve to the side. It's called stir it up. So we're going to stir it up in our torso today a little bit. Good, and if you want, you can try to take some full circles going all the way around the merry-go-round. I like to imagine kind of scraping the batter out of the bowl here. That's what it feels like on the insides, getting all that good stuff out. And reverse the direction. Stir it around the other way. Good, shoulders are relaxing, away from the ears. Heart is lifting away from the hips. Hips remain rooted down onto those chairs or supports. Good, and then allowing the stirring to settle, and then bringing attention to our head. I'm just going to trace a little bit of a figure 8 with the chin or the nose, just a small figure 8, just to wake up into the sensation of our necks. So it's like a sideways 8, tracing that infinity symbol. Because there's infinite possibilities. No end to the spaciousness that we can explore inside, around us, in our universe. Maybe you're finding a little bit of rhythm if it feels right for you with the music. Dance along with Bob Marley. Get our summer vibes going on. And then letting that settle. And then again, let's bring our arms up. And then you're just going to kind of reach to the side. Reach, do a little reach and pull with those arms. Good. You can add a little wave if you like with your arms. Good, and then let's bring those arms up, torso nice and center. Maybe grab hold of your right wrist with your left hand, stretching up and over to the side, keeping both sits bones nice and anchored. Inhale, center. Switching wrists, stretching up and over to the other side. Inhale, center, and if we like, we can circle our arms up and overhead. If you like, you can try to add that torso around with it. It's like pat the belly, rub the head, or vice versa, or pat the head, rub the belly. And reversing the direction of your circles, whether you're just doing the arms or arms and rib cage. Just allow it to feel good. Maybe close the eyes down and pay attention to what's happening inside the self. Don't worry about Claudette being in the front of the room. I'm going to put a big Close those eyes, girls. You too, Colin. Colin's got his eyes closed. Don't worry. He's feeling the vibes. Good. And let's bring our arms out. Maybe the arms feel a little weighted right now. They feel nice and heavy. Draw them into the sockets, open the palms up, open your chest, maybe lifting your gaze. Press down into those feet, let the heart lift, and then bring your hands together behind the back of the skull. Hold your head and just let the chin lift, let the head fall back into that nice hammock. Again, summer vibes. Sitting at the beach, at the shore, hearing the ocean waves, whatever feels right for you. Press down into those feet. Maybe sternum lifts a little bit more. Head might move back just slightly. Elbows wide and further away. Scapula hugs in toward the spine. Take a nice deep breath in. And if you like, you can give yourself a nice satisfactory hum. Beautiful. And let's bring our head back up nice and tall. Let those arms slowly fall down by our sides. And the song's still going, so let's take, like we're doing backstrokes with our shoulders. Just one at a time. Backstrokes. I want to go back. You want to go forward? That's good though. And let's take it forward for Claudette. Good. And And then let's bring those arms out and hug them in. I know we're going to do a lot of arm stuff, so we're working on our thymus and our thyroid. It's lovely, all good for our immune support. So hug those arms in and draw that Uddiyana Bandha, because it's so fun to say, in toward the spine, up toward the heart. Lock in your Mula Bandha, which is that perineum area in your pelvic floor, and tight, small little circles. Tight, small little circles for about 1 whole minute. So grow nice and tall, and of course, if you need to rest. Allow that and just join back in when you can. So think about arm bones hugging in, fingertips reaching away. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha engaged. Breath is moving through the body, so we're still breathing. Crown is reaching nice and tall. We're smile, asana-ing. We're sticking out our tongue at me, whatever. And our heart is lifting away from the hips, so try not to let yourself sink down toward the ground. You're lifting yourself up like a little fledgling right now, trying to strengthen your wings to make that long flight in the fall. We're almost there. We're almost at 1 minute, and then we're going to reverse the direction. So good. Nice, strong breath. Let's reverse the direction. Again, if you need to take a break and just join back in. Think about the front of the rib cage drawing back, the back of the skull reaching tall. A lot of things happening, but breath is most important, so make sure you're still breathing. Feet stamping into the earth, thighs nice and strong. Use what you can, like what you're connected to in the earth. If you push down, maybe that gives you a little more oomph. Take off a little more. Beautiful. Keep going. Maybe a little bit tighter, maybe a little bit faster if you can. Feel the burn. Feel the burn. But imagine those little baby birds learning to fly the first time. That's not easy. And we've got small wings and bigger bodies than those birds do. Good, we have 5 more seconds, so just do the best you can, smile through it, breathe through it, and then inhale, exhale, slowly let the arms come down, and we're going to take a minute to relax. Maybe chin draws to chest, maybe head just nice and neutral. Let your arms just be supported on your thighs, and then come back to that nice deep breath. Maybe you're envisioning that breath moving in through the root and through the crown and moving out like rivers through the heart. Just focus on nice, deep, full breaths, drawing in exactly what you need for this moment. And maybe exhaling, sharing that sense of abundance out into this world like rivers. Just another nice deep breath in and a full breath out. Anyone's perception of time while we were doing that, those minutes seemed forever, right? And then that minute of just relaxation, it was all a minute. It was all a minute. Seemed, oh, that went by quick. Why? Why does that happen? So we're going to go into our Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Let's take our left leg and open it out to the side. And we're going to pivot ourselves so our torso and our hips are trying to align with that left foot. And then we can extend your right leg out so it's like in line with that trochanter or lateral side of your body. Or you can also bring your foot behind you, so you're on the toes, the heel is lifted, so it's like all 10 toes are facing in the same direction. Either way, you can leave it out like a kickstand, kind of in line with your shoulder and the way your shoulder projects, or step it behind you, whichever serves you best. And try to really sense your hips nice and level. And again, bring your hands to your hips, and we're going to just do a little bit of a rock of that pelvis. So tipping the pelvis forward and then tucking the tailbone under. And you might notice a deeper stretch as you tuck that tailbone under in that right psoas muscle. Good. And then we're going to bring ourselves nice and tall with that tailbone slightly tucked, and then bring your hands onto your thigh. Press your hands down into that front thigh. Roll the shoulders up, roll them back and down, and then lift your heart. Maybe you lift your gaze, or maybe you draw the chin toward the notch of the throat, just working on strengthening the muscles of the neck. If your back leg is reaching behind you, really reach through that back heel, lift the thigh toward the sky. Either way, if your leg is out to the side, just think about rooting down through the pinky edge side of the foot, if that's the case, and really lifting up into that right thigh. And if you like, we can take the inside arm, so that's your left arm is going to reach up toward the sky. Beautiful. And if you like, you can try to twist yourself from your navel center toward the chair. And that arm might open up in line with your shoulder. You might use it to land on the chair in some way. You might even try reaching it for your back thigh. Whatever works for your body today in this moment. Embracing what is. Grow nice and tall through the crown. Your gaze might twist just a bit more over that back shoulder. And our next inhale, let's untwist, bring ourselves nice and slow back to center. And you can grab hold of the chair or hands to the side to bring that back leg in. Come to the edge of your seat and we'll just kind of swivel our legs a little bit. We'll go on to the other side. So you're going to take that right knee, open it out, landing the knee right on top of your ankle. And again, the left leg might just extend out, in line with your trochanter, in line with that left shoulder, or it might step behind you. Just make sure you feel nice and stable and supported wherever you decide to be. Take a few moments just to set yourself up so you feel like a nice strong foundation. Hands to the hips if you like. And again, play with that little bit of a rock of your pelvis, kind of rocking the pelvis forward, rocking the pelvis back. And see if you can get that pinky edge side of your foot connected down, especially if it's out to the side, like a kickstand. You want to try to bring it out a little bit more. Maybe rotate yourself so your shoulders and hips are really square to that unpainted wall. That may get painted in the next year or so. I know, I'll have to call it whatever color it decides to be. And then we're gonna really settle the pelvis, nice and neutral, tailbone roots down, Uddiyana Bandha, Mula Bandha, hips are level, heart is lifting, roll those shoulders up toward your ears, roll them back and down, ground your hands onto your thigh to press down to lift your heart, lift your crown. If you like, you might remain here or you might float that right arm up by your right ear. Inhaling and exhale as you twist your way toward the back of your chair. And again, the right hand might come to the chair. It might just float in space, sort of horizontal, on that horizontal plane or parallel to the floor, or it might try to reach for your back thigh. Take another breath as you inhale. Sense yourself growing taller. As we exhale, you might twist just a bit more, like you're wringing out that wet towel. And our next inhale, we'll slowly lift up to unwind. Take your time, come back to the front, slowly, slowly. And then just kind of windshield wiper those legs out. Good. Then we're going to bring our feet back underneath us. Thighs nice and parallel. Just take a few moments to find yourself settled, nice and tall. Find that tailbone grounding down. Uddiyana Bandha is engaged. Heart is lifted nice and tall. And then we're going to interweave those fingers, bring them again to the back of the skull, like we did earlier. And then just for a moment, think about drawing the chin back, pressing the back of the skull into the palms, pressing the palms into the skull. So there's a little bit of isometrics going on, like opposition. Holding that, and then relaxing. And then try that again. Pressing the back of the skull in, pressing the palms into the skull. Breathing in, breathing out as you relax. Try that one more time. This is good for just strengthening those muscles in our neck. So find that isometric. Chin aligns with the notch of the throat. And this time as you relax, draw the chin toward the chest. Elbows can fold in toward your gaze. If that's too much, you can always rest your hands down on your thighs. Take a few deep breaths into the back of the throat. Allow the spine to remain upright, nice and tall. And then sensing your feet connect to the earth, the tailbone, the sits bones root down, and grow yourself up nice and tall. So bring the crown back up toward the sky and resting your hands to your side. We're going to march a little bit before we get ourselves up to standing. So we're going to pick up one leg and swing the opposite arm like we're walking in our chair. And just find your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. In and out. Maybe you're synchronizing your breath with these movements. Maybe like you're imagining you're hiking up a mountain. And trying to sit nice and tall. So as you lift up that leg, try not to cave your heart back. So we're trying to stay nice and tall. And maybe we hold with that one leg and one arm up, and maybe we try to extend that leg wherever it wants to extend. Maybe there's a little shaking. Maybe we don't know what arm and leg we're lifting. It's all good. And then we're going to lower it down and try switching to the other side. Okay, you can always use your hand on the chair for stabilization, stability. If you want to try to extend that leg, smile asana. Beautiful. And then just march it out again. Swing those legs. Swing those arms. I'm not doing that. We're going to walk like Homo sapiens. We're not sure if we're a human today or a bear. Actually, I don't know how do bears walk. Do they walk like we do? Or do they walk the same?
I haven't watched them.
Cross-laterally or homo-laterally. Okay, so let's peel the flesh out from under our sits bones. Play with rocking that torso again a little bit, front to back. Tipping back just so you sense those abdominals start to engage. Scoop them in, and then again, maybe come to your tiptoes. Maybe lift one leg, maybe both. Don't rock the boat. Take another breath. And again, it could be alternating. You don't have to do both legs today, especially if whatever we're going through. Take another breath wherever you are. Smile asana through it. Inhale, grow nice and tall. Exhale, land those feet. Nice. And just do our little Charleston move. You haven't done a lot of cross-lateral stuff besides that twist, so you got to get the brain all functioning smoothly. All right, let's come to standing. So just come to the edge of your seat so you can ground your feet and grow nice and tall. Shake it out a little bit. And we're going to inhale, sweep those arms up and overhead. Take your time and grab hold of that left wrist again. And then stretching yourself up and over to that, whatever side that is, right side. And then inhale ourselves up nice and tall. Exhale, just let those arms come down, take a break. And again, inhale, grow nice and tall, lift those thighs. Grab hold of the right wrist. This time, stretch up and over to that left side, rooting into that right foot, maybe a little bit more as you send your right hip away. Inhale ourselves back up. Exhale as we press away. And again, we're going to inhale those arms up. This time, if you like, take that right arm to your right hip and then push into the hip a little bit so you're helping to send that left hip toward that panel wall. Right arm reaches up and overhead, or left arm does. Good. Inhale as we lift up. Exhale. And again, inhale, arms sweep wide and high. Exhale, if you like, this time taking that Left hand to your left hip, sweeping that right arm up and over toward the panel wall this time. Helping to use that hand to kind of press into your hip, but try not to just collapse your rib cage down. So we're lifting up as we stretch up and over. Nice. And then inhale as we bring ourselves back up. And exhale, relax those arms. And then just kind of shake it out a little bit. Grab a sip of water if you like. It's nice and hot, so stay hydrated. We're going to use our chair next. Well, in a moment. We're going to do a little more dancing. We're going to think about those figure eights and with our hips as well to like help to open up our hips. Exactly, Arlene's already going there. She's like, oh yeah. All right, so we're going to open up our feet a little bit wider, and you can adjust for you. If it feels better to have a more narrow base, honor that. If it is right for you to have a little wider base, hands to the hips, and then just sense that rocking a little bit side to side. Whew. Already the hips are doing some clickies. Clickies are happening. And then see if you can try to find that infinity, that figure eight. So you're kind of rounding around the corners there, the edges. Bending your knees here. And just notice that shift weight of your feet now. So you're kind of rolling from the inside to the outside of your feet. And you can really think about kind of when you move away from one side, you're really pushing into that foot, and then you're kind of pulling up on the foot that you're going toward. So it's kind of a yin-yang thing. And that might be like, what are you talking about? I'm just going to focus on swinging my hips because that's already too complicated for my brain this morning, and that's totally fine. But if you want to try to add that extra dynamic of like one foot pushes as the other foot pulls as you're circling your hips. And if you like, you can bring those arms up. And you can also swim those arms.
Oh, too many things.
I know. And however they want to swim. There's no wrong swimming. You can swim backwards or forwards, however you like. You can make some figure eights with those arms, just about kind of loosening up into our joints. Maybe even the head goes. Maybe that doesn't make you dizzy. Yeah. Now we're adding on all these layers, right? And just, again, maybe like find your little inner jam. So eyes can close or gaze can be down, fixed, unmoving, and just kind of make it feel good, like you're getting all the batter out of that bowl, and you want it to feel nice. Finding our little summer groove. We've moved into the summer now. I mean, we feel like we've been there. The weather's been warm, but meteorologically, we're now in the summer season. I can't say that word. That's so hard. All right, you try it.
Meteorologist.
Ah! Meteorologist. Okay. Thank you. I got it.
Message to you, Ronnie. Things are just the same.
So, yeah, exactly.
Except we miss you.
Yeah. So if we want, we could try shifting to one leg, coming up on the tippy toes of the other. Grow nice and tall. And then see if you can float that foot. Whoa, and then ground into it, shift weight to the other side. You can bend your knees to get there, grow tall, come onto the tiptoes first, and then feel that leg lift off. Beautiful. And then we'll let the foot ground. Again, shake it out. Nice job. We're gonna face our seat of our chair, but you can also turn your chair around to the front of the room if you want. And again, you can bring your palms to the seat of the chair or use blocks to raise the seat of the chair to you, depending on what your body's needing today. We're going to bring our hands to the chair. We're going to roll the shoulders back, soften into the knees, grounding through all sides of your feet, the heels, the ball mounds, the toes are lengthening. The occipital bone is pressing up toward the ceiling. The sternum's kind of sinking down slightly as the arm bones hug in and back. And scooping the belly in. And we're going to press down into that right leg as we stretch the left leg behind us. And just give it a nice hold there, a nice reach through that foot, through that heel, whether you're pointing or flexing through the extended leg. And make sure there's a soft bend into that front leg that's supporting you so there's not a lock in your knee. If you like, you can try oppositely reaching the opposite hand off the earth or off the chair, or just keep both grounded today. Take another breath here. Just hold as we're breathing, so there's energy moving through you. And then we'll lower down that back leg. And again, grounding into the left foot to switch sides. So extending that right leg back into space, lifting it wherever it wants to go. Draw the navel center in, spine nice and long. And again, if you want, you can try lifting the opposite hand, so your left arm off the chair if you like, to test your balance. You might even try lifting both arms, but that might be a little much for us today. Yeah. One arm is enough, then breathe. And if one arm is too much, then keep it on the chair. And again, nice gentle bend in the back of that supported leg, that leg that's anchored to the floor. Whoa, go Pat, go! She's superwoman over there. Beautiful job. Take another breath wherever you are. And then lower that foot back down to the earth, and then step your feet back a little further, a little bit wider. And again, if you're having like headaches and pressure in the head, you might want to keep your head just lifted and in line with your shoulders or slightly higher. If you're not experiencing any of that, headache or glaucoma, you can certainly allow the head to fold down lower than the heart, and you can bend your knees here to allow the spine to really lengthen here as the tailbone tips up toward the sky. And again, let it feel nice, let it feel juicy for your body, whether that you're holding in just a dynamic stretch into the back surface of the body, or you're rocking your weight a little bit right to left. Take some nice deep breaths. And just drawing another nice long deep breath here. And then when you're ready, slowly start to walk the feet in, bringing yourself all the way upright, nice and tall. Nice job. All right, so we're going to bring our feet in, our knees in as close to the chair as is comfortable. We might have to make a little bit of adjustments for our bodies. We're going to keep our right foot close to the chair, and we're going to step our left foot back. So the toes are sort of facing the side of the room, opposite of the front foot, or slightly opposite, halfway to opposite. And hands to the hips. Allow your hips to be nice and level again. Notice if you kind of sink into one side, let your hips open to the side of your mat, that long side. And then check out your front toes. Make sure they're facing the small edge of your chair, and toes are in line with your ankles versus your toes kind of pitched at an angle from that front foot. Good. And then we're going to extend our right arm toward the chair. You can keep your left hand on your hip. And then we're just going to start to hinge at the torso, reaching for that back of the chair, maybe going past it. Beautiful. Inhale our way up, and then flip the palm up and reach back. Beautiful. Inhale as we come back to vertical, and again reach toward the chair, and then we might land that hand down on the chair, lifting into that front quadricep, so engaging that thigh. And you can bring your hand to the chair if you like, if it reaches to the seat of the chair, and try to extend both legs. Try to peel open that top shoulder, reach your crown in opposition from your tailbone. Maybe your gaze is forward, maybe it's looking down, and we're breathing, right? We're still breathing here. Beautiful. And then we're going to bring ourselves upright. We're going to stay on the same side. Now we're going to keep our feet exactly as they are. We might have to step that back foot out a little wider and pitch it in a little bit closer. And we're going to try to square our hips and our shoulders to the seat of our chair. Root down your tailbone, because oftentimes as we do this, the tailbone likes to kind of flail back. So see if you can root it down, engage your abdominals. And this time we're going to reach forward with our left hand. Our right hip is drawing back. And then we're going to bring our left hand to the chair. Beautiful. And then if you like, you can try to just push down into that palm as you open your heart toward the ceiling. And you might extend that right arm toward the ceiling, but if that doesn't work for your shoulder today or your arm, you can keep it on that right hip or sacrum. Good, make sure you're grounding to all sides of your feet. Lengthen your toes. Let the spine grow nice and long. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale as we twist. Beautiful. Inhale, grow nice and long. Exhale, untwist. Bring your hands back to that chair. Beautiful. And then soften into that knee. Step the back foot in to meet the front. We'll do the other side. So you're going to keep your left toes forward. Step your right foot back. Good, hands to the hips, and again you might kind of rock your hips a little bit. Make sure the hips feel nice and level. Make sure the pelvis is also level so you're not kind of tucking the tailbone or letting the tailbone pop back. You want the tailbone rooted down, front abdominals engaged. Beautiful. And then a lift into that left thigh. So we're lifting that thigh away from the knee. We're hugging the muscles in to support the bones. Our hips are opening, our shoulders are opening. Our left arm's gonna come up in line with our shoulder. We're gonna start to reach forward over the seat of the chair, over the, what is this called? Back rail of the chair? Whatever it's called, I don't know. Back of the chair, thank you. I'm trying to make it more complicated. And then we're gonna bring ourselves back to vertical, reach those fingertips up toward the sky, move them back, shoulders relax away from the ears. Lovely, inhale, grow tall. Exhale again, reach for the chair. Maybe bring your hand down to the seat of the chair this time as you peel your heart open toward the sky. Good, and keep pressing that right hip away as your crown reaches toward the front of the room. Navel center's hugging in, shoulders are pressing down away from those ears. Both legs are working toward being extended or straightened with maybe a slight bend in the knees. And on our next breath in, we can lift ourselves up by pressing down into those feet, bringing yourself back vertical. And again, we might step that back foot, that right leg out and in a little bit, so we can square our hips and our shoulders toward the front of the room without torquing into our knees. So make sure all sides of your feet are in a supportive, rooted place. And then lifting up into both thighs, growing the heart a little bit taller, reaching that right arm up toward your ear, and then starting to hinge your torso forward, bringing that right hand down to the seat of your chair. Again, we might just pause and breathe here. We might start to push our right palm down into the chair, roll the shoulders back and away from the ears, and start to rotate your heart toward the ceiling. Beautiful. And just find that breath here. If you like, you can also extend your left arm up toward the sky. If that doesn't work for you today, leave it by your hip. Just try to keep thinking about that spine is lengthening. You're inhaling and finding length in the spine. Exhale as we twist. Take one more breath here. This is our revolve trikonasana, a revolve triangle. I can't remember the Sanskrit word for revolve, so I'm just saying revolve. Take a nice deep breath in and then exhale as we unrevolve ourselves back to the front. Revolve yourselves back to the front and then bring that back foot in. Bring yourself up nice and tall. Shake out those hips a little bit. And we're just gonna work on just that idea of our feet nice and rooted, our heart reaching away from our pelvis as we work on apple picking skills, because that's going to be coming up in the fall. Or maybe you're picking plums already. I don't know, plums or peaches. What's growing? What fruits are?
Pick tomatoes, don't you?
Pick tomatoes, yeah. Oranges. You can pick those oranges or cherries. Yeah. Blueberries soon. Ah, yes. But blueberries often don't grow that tall. Well, maybe for me. Welcome to my world of being short. Everything is a reach. Should see me in my kitchen. I'm like, oh, come on. Why do they make cabinets so tall? Good. And then let's bring those arms up. Bring both arms up nice and tall. Nice deep breath in. And then bring everything in toward your heart. That would serve you best for this moment. Draw the chin toward the chest. Just breathe into the back of the neck once more. Take a nice deep breath in. And as we exhale, let the arms just release down by our side. Let our crown grow nice and tall. Beautiful. And we're going to start to make our way in for relaxation. So you're going to either just rotate your chair around so you're sitting back in your chair with your feet grounded in a nice supportive way, adding any props that would serve you best. You can also choose to lie down on your back. We're going to go through a nice guided relaxation today to help us just feel really supported, open, present, full of attention to what is present in this moment. And also just giving ourselves a time to check out of that active mind, that beta wavelength of our brains, try to access that more alpha, theta state of more of a relaxed state of mind, a peaceful state of mind, place free from worry or concerns. And we're going to take some time getting there. We're going to start with just engaging with our breath. So just take a few moments to settle into that comfortable place. And know that as your body is just opening itself up to this experience, you might have to continue to make little adjustments, little movements, especially as you sense yourself moving into that quality of spaciousness. You might be aware of areas that you were holding, the areas that you're tensing, and as you relax them, the body might need to make slight adjustments just to accommodate that extra space so you can move in. And just begin to pay attention to your breath, just simply as it is in this moment. Noticing the in-breath, that gentle pause, the out-breath, and that moment of stillness before you breathe in once more. We're going to work on that idea of thinking or imagining or visualization inside our mind's eye, whether or not you see the image clearly like you would with your eyes open, or just think the thought. But on your next breath in, you're going to breathe in and invite in the number 10. See the number 10 in your mind's eye, and as you exhale, exhale out the number 10 as you sense yourself relaxing a bit deeper. And the next time you breathe in, invite in the number 9. See the number 9 clearly in your mind. Exhale the number 9 and sense yourself softening a bit more, held and supported. Inhale to 8. Picture the number 8. Exhaling 8. Sensing 8. Inhaling 7. Exhale 7. As you sink a bit deeper into this relaxation, as you soften. Next inhale is the number 6. Exhaling 6. And just keep going with each breath all the way down to 1 at your own pace with your own breath. Each breath out is an invitation to relax even more, to let yourself be held and supported, to let go of holding yourself up in any way. As you count down to 1, you're just sweeping the mind clear of all those shoulds or shouldn'ts, all the things left to do, or the things we wish we could have changed about the past. Each inhale is an invitation of a sense of contentment, acceptance of all that is, because all that is brought us to this moment right now. this aliveness, this fullness. And just letting the breath, the counting go once you get to that number 1. And bringing your attention to your toes, to your feet. And the next time your breath moves in, think about scrunching your toes, hugging the muscles in around your feet, giving them a little squeeze, and then exhale, letting them soften, letting the ankles relax, the toes lengthen. And then bringing attention to your shins and your calf muscles. So the next time you inhale, maybe try to flex your feet, engage your calf muscles, squeeze and hold. And on your next exhale, let everything soften from the calves down to the toes. And the next inhale, you might engage your buttocks, your thighs a little bit. Give your buttocks and thighs a squeeze in, and exhale, let them soften and go. And then you might inhale and hug your abdominals in, squeezing your abdominals in, holding. Exhale, soften, and let breath flow freely through the abdomen. Next inhale, you might make a fist and scrunch the shoulders up toward the ears a little bit and just hold the arms in tight, and then exhale, let the arms soften, relax, let the palms unfold. And then we might just gently draw the chin toward the notch of the throat, lift the head for a moment, inhale, and then exhale, let the head soften back into the supports that hold you. Next inhale, we might scrunch all the muscles in tight of the face, hold. Next exhale, let everything soften, all the wrinkles of life experience smooth away. There's an inner glow radiating out from inside. The whole body can relax now. Allowing the whole self to relax, the whole body is at ease. The mind is just allowing for consciousness to move. Observing and accepting, non-attached way, like the sky holds space for the weather. And just sensing yourself as you're in this inner space, like you're in your own sanctuary. You might even picture yourself somewhere, a home or a certain landscape. And knowing that in this space you are completely free, safe. In this space, this sanctuary, healing can occur. Nice and gently from this place, you might just invite in that intention for yourself as an affirmation, whether it was to cultivate peace, contentment, acceptance. State it as a positive in the here and now. So you might say, I am accepting, or I am peaceful, or I am present. Whatever your intention was, start to state it to yourself gently. And as you state your affirmation to yourself, start to cultivate that breath once more, breathing in through the crown, breathing in through the root, letting your heart fill with that intention. And as you exhale, letting it flow like rivers out from your heart space. And just work with that image, with that breath. Again, knowing that there's nothing that you need to force. You can simply just think about the breath flowing in that way. Moving in from the crown, from the root, pooling around the heart, exhaling out from the heart, moving in all directions like rivers flowing. You might start to gently wiggle the fingers or toes or roll the head gently side to side. Gently from this place, waking your body up. If you're lying down, you might slowly draw the knees in toward the chest. Move your chair just away slightly, so you might rock a little bit. Taking your time, there's no rush. Listening to your body in any way it wishes to wake up before bringing yourself to one side nice and gently. Hands can be used to push down and bring yourself back to a supported upright place. And we'll slowly bring ourselves up to standing for our balance today. Feel free to grab a sip of water if you like before we try that. How are we feeling?
Just wonderful.
Refreshed, glowing, good. All right. So we're gonna do a little extension on our theme from boat or victorious pose that we were working on earlier as our balance challenge today. So you can just come to the side of your chair if you want, just to be able to use the chair as support. And then grounding into the leg closest to the chair. And make sure we're not sinking into that trochanter side, that side of the hip. We're lifting up nice and tall, slight bend in that standing leg. And then the opposite leg, the knee can bend and bringing it up toward your navel center or toward your heart. You might just stay here with the knee bent. You might try to extend that leg. You might try to float one arm or both arms. Settle your gaze, your drishti in one spot. Grow nice and tall. Smile asana. Breathe. Beautiful job. Inhale. And then exhale. Of course, as soon as I say that, it's like, tumbling down. And then we'll come to the other side if you wish. And again, grounding into that leg closest to the chair and slowly shifting that weight, lifting that opposite thigh. Knee can start bent. You can work to extend it or just choose which variation serves you best. Tailbone roots down, heart lifts. Arms might float one or both. Think about growing chin toward the notch, occipital bone lengthening back, crown reaching tall, heel rooting down, and breathing, most importantly. Beautiful job. And then lower that leg down and just shake it out. Beautiful. And then we'll just ground both feet into the floor, open those arms out nice and wide, lift the heart, lift your gaze, exhale, hug yourself, arms crossed, chin to chest. Just take a notice of which arm is on top. Inhale as we unfurl those arms. Exhale, opposite arm crosses on top, and just again give ourselves a hug, thanking ourselves for taking this time, acknowledging that it takes effort to be here, to make this time for ourselves. So truly thank yourself for making that effort, for showing up. And then we're practitioners. Once we're here, the work isn't done. It's a constant effort of training our little monkey minds to remain present in the moment. So thank you all very much, and namaste. I wish you a beautiful day and enjoy the sunshine, because we're getting lots of it. We're getting lots of sun.